Okay then, let's take a look at the perfect tense with avoir. Now the perfect tense is a past tense. Now there are two, maybe a push three past tenses that you need to know about. So there's the perfect tense, which is the one we're covering here, also known as the passé composé in French. Passé composé. There's the imperfect tense, which we will learn later. And I'm going to put it in brackets because it's only really basic knowledge of the pluperfect tense, which you might learn later. So we're focusing on this perfect tense. So we're going to look at what we use it for and then how we form it. And this avoir bit here comes into how we form it. So how do we use it? It's used to express a finished action in the past. Now, the French is a nice easy bit. Us English people do something quite odd with ours. So, for example, it will be things such as I played football, or I swam in the sea. So it's the I played and the I swam, okay, would be j'ai joué au foot, and the I swam would be j'ai nagé. Okay, so I swam bit. Now, it can also in English be translated as I did play and I have played. So if you want to express any of those in English, if you want to express any of those in French that you've got in English, I played, I did play, and I have played, then they are all the perfect tense in French. Okay, so similarly, if you want to say I swam, it would be j'ai nagé. I did swim, j'ai nagé. And I have swum. Is it swum? Do we say swum? Yes, I have swum. J'ai nagé. So all of those are expressed as j'ai nagé. Okay, they are all the perfect tense. So any time you want to refer to an action that's finished in the past, then we're going to be using this perfect tense. Okay, let's look then at how we form it. Now I happen to think this is a really nice straightforward tense. Okay, just a few key details we may need to be aware of. Okay, and the key things is that it's made up of a subject. Okay, well, I'm going to put subject in yellow. I tend to do my subjects in yellow, don't I? So it's made up of the subject, that's who's doing the action, plus two parts of the verb. And that is key. And that's the bit that sometimes makes people stumble. They forget that you need two parts of the verb. So let's start off with them. My subject, which I'm going to put in this column here. So we've got here, there we go. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. Just remind ourselves in case you've forgotten, but hopefully you know these by now. Je, I, to you singular informal. Il or elle is he and she, and we do put the on in there, which is the sort of chatty version of we. Nous is the other we. Vous is you plural, it can also be you singular formal, and il or elle is they. Okay, so we have our subject, and then we've got two parts of the verb. Okay, this is going to be part one of the verb, and this is what we call our auxiliary verb. Our auxiliary verb, and part two is what we call our past participle. Okay, so the auxiliary verb, I'm going to rub that out so I can make some space. The auxiliary verb in this instance, because we're doing past tense with avoir, it's going to be the verb avoir in present tense. Avoir, of course, being to have. So if you remember back to when we learnt the present tense, we did the common irregulars, and I said knowing avoir is going to be absolutely fundamental for you to be able to form your past tense. Okay, that's going to be key here. So because it's avoir, I'm going to change that to J apostrophe, and it's going to be j'ai, tu as, il, elle, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ou elles ont. They don't match up, do they? Put that in the right place. Okay, vous avez, ils ont. Okay, but at the moment, because I've only got one part of it, that just means I have. J'ai by itself means I have. We have to add something else here to make it past tense. Okay, and that's our past participle. So we could have, for example, joué, fini, répondu. So played, finished, answered. These are our past participles. And actually, if we translate it word for word, I have finished, j'ai joué, I have played, sorry, j'ai joué. We did say that's actually one of the translations, isn't it? I have played. So word for word, it does actually translate correctly as well. But don't forget, it can also translate as I did play or I played. Okay, tu as fini. He has finished, or he finished, or he did finish. Il a répondu. He has answered, or he answered, or he did answer. Nous avons joué. We have played, or we played, or we did play. Vous avez fini. You have finished, or you finished, or you did finish. Ils ou elles ont répondu. They have answered, or they did answer, okay, or they answered. Okay, so these are past participles. Let's scroll across then and look at how we form past participles. We're going to look at the formation. Now they're nice and straightforward for the regular ones. The next tutorial will cover irregular past participles, so it is worth watching that. Okay, but we're going to focus on the irregular ones. So the way we form our past participles then, so an ER verb, the ending changes to E. IR verb, it changes to I. An RE verb, it changes to U. Okay, so these bits come off, the verb in the infinitive form, so that's the to form of the verb as you find it in the dictionary, and it gets replaced with that. So for example, jouer, to play, becomes jouer, played. Finir, to finish, becomes fini, finished. Répondre, to answer, becomes répondu, answered. Okay, so we remove the ending that makes the category of the verb, ER, IR, or RE, and we replace it with these letters here, depending on what the category of verb is. Now what that means, of course, is actually, I said it's quite straightforward, because if you know your verb to have in the present tense, then all we have to know how to do is just to form our past participle to go with it. Okay, so let's take, for example, let's take the verb sing. If I wanted to say she sang, well, that's a finished action in the past. So I want she, elle, for part of avoir that goes with it. So elle, a, and then to sing is chanter, to sing. So I'm going to make it chante, and then remember we said the ER comes off and gets replaced by an E accent. So elle a chanté. Whereas we sang would be nous avons chanté. Nous avons chanté. Or they sang. I don't know why I started midway through with we, but with she, and gone down, but never mind. They sang. Il or elle, if it was just girls, or just women, I should say. Ils ont chanté. They sang. Okay, but what's really important is you must have these two parts of the verb. If I were to forget them and ask to just say elle a without the chanter, that becomes she has. Nous avons, we have. ils ont, they have. Okay, you're not making it past tense. You're not doing anything to do with the singing, which is the key bit here. If I just said elle chantait, that she, elle chantait wouldn't. I mean, it might work in English, but it doesn't translate in French. Okay, elle chantait does not make past tense. Okay, it wouldn't really make any sense to a French person. Il chantait, nous chantait. Okay, we must have this avoir in the middle, this auxiliary verb, with your past participle for it to make the perfect tense. Let's take another example. Let's take they chose a new bag. They chose a new bag. So here's my verb. They chose, which is to choose, which in French is choisir. Okay, so I want they chose. So let's go back up. I want they. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. They, il ou elle. We'll go with elle this time. So it's a group of women. So elle. Then I need my first part of the verb. So elles ont. Well, elles ont, but we do kind of link the S onto the vowel after it. So elles ont. And then choisir is my verb. But of course, if I lift it there, they have to choose. Okay, or they to choose. We need to change this choisir. And remember, of course, an IR verb, the past participle, IR comes off and gets replaced with an I. So let's do that here. The IR comes off and we change it to an I. Elles ont choisi, and I suppose I should finish my sentence, un nouveau sac. I chose a new bag. Okay, how about we sold the house? We sold the house. The verb to sell here, so to sell, is vendre. We're going to say we sold the house, so nous. There's nous avons. Nous avons. And then vendre. Remember, to make it the past participle, we remove the RE, so we take that off and we change it to a U for an RE verb, don't we? Nous avons vendu, and I'll finish my sentence, la maison. We have sold the house. So really nice and straightforward, mostly because it's made up of parts. The main part of it we already know already, and to form a past participle, a regular one, is really straightforward. Just something to be aware of before I finish. It's what we do with negatives. So if you want to make your sentence negative, it says make it I didn't sing. So past tense. So I sang would be j'ai chanté. I suppose I should try and keep my colours the same. Come on, now let's have consistency. J'ai chanté. So I sang. Okay, and I want to make it I didn't sing. Well, look what happens with my my negative. It goes in here around the auxiliary. So je n'ai pas. And that becomes a je, obviously. So je n'ai pas chanté. So the negatives you can say wrap around the auxiliary. Around the auxiliary verb. So if you say they didn't choose, so using my example above, they didn't choose. We had they did choose was elles ont choisi. Elles ont choisi. Make it they didn't, elles n'ont pas choisi. They didn't choose. So just to be aware of how negatives works, obviously in this a compound tense because it's made up of more than one verb. Okay, that's the perfect tense with avoir.